All right, what's going on, guys? This is Will Schusterick and Idris Garcia bringing you commentary on the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour 2019. We're in Tampere, Finland. We're watching some awesome Finnish disc golf right now on a fantastic and very difficult frisbeegolfkeskus in Tampere, Finland. Idris, give us a little breakdown on these players.
Yeah, Väinö was last year's Pro Tour champion. Mikael won the last event of the Pro Tour of this year, and Sam and Oskari were selected by the fan vote, and they are former Finnish junior champions. So some decorated Finnish champions here on our card.
Yeah, the front nine was very exciting to watch. We got a look at this incredibly hard course as we head into what looks to be the easiest and must get hole number 10, 249 feet, 76 meters. We have Oskari here looking to go with the mid-range sidearm. That's a really interesting play for just a dead straight shot, but
he nails it.
He nails the shot, and he gets the follow flight. He gets the nice replay right there.
Beautifully done.
Beautiful shot right there as Mikael's coming up here. Mikael and Oskari had 3 unders on the front nine, which are, based off of the course, that's a really hot score.
Yeah, they absolutely killed it, especially in these elements. It's been rainy. It looks cold. We've seen a little bit of wind, and they've really battled the elements extremely well.
Yeah, and Mikael's getting his mid-range up there, it looked like, as Väinö looks to be throwing his glow PA3 and just filleting the fairway as dead center as you can get. Samuel looks to be going also with the putter. We've seen him just kind of turn it over a little bit out of his hands for the last couple holes. I'm interested to know if the wetness or the cold affects it more.
Yeah, he definitely has been seemingly struggling with grip, probably holding onto the disc a little bit too long, trying to avoid it slipping out of his hand. But hopefully he can turn it around.
And Mikael, there he is, just draining another one of those putts. We saw him hit some really nice putts on the front nine.
Absolutely.
As we see Samuel just cleaning up the par. Definitely a nice little confidence booster there as Väinö's tapping in that birdie. And Oskari with that sweet. Ooh, he's getting the CTP.
Oh,
he's got to measure it out.
The tape, I like that. That is some advanced measurement. Everyone in the USA, take notes. We don't ever have measuring. I bet somebody would steal it. That's probably why. But
you'd have to use the full foot technique.
Yeah. Everyone just walks it off, and it just creates too much controversy. Come on, guys. Let's get some tape measures.
All right, we're headed into hole number 11. Also looking like a must-get birdie as very similar distance-wise, but this one is very tucked into the left, as you can see from the very last end of that drone shot there. Number 11 is 256 feet, 78 meters. Oskari is keeping the tee box as him and Mikael continue to go 4 under after 10 holes.
They're just going stroke for stroke, and neither one of them can really get the advantage. He looks to be a little bit inside there, and the rough so far has not been very forgiving, so he'll probably have a pretty tough look.
Yeah, and Mikael, I'm not sure if you obviously cannot see the gap from where he's at,
Wow.
but he hits it perfect. I'm not sure if he knew that Oskari was a little bit short. Sometimes on those holes or those types of shots, you can play from the previous throw and just know that you have to go a little bit farther or a little bit shorter, just depending on kind of visually the last shot.
And Väinö goes wider, and it works out just as well. He probably chose a faster disc.
Yeah, looked to be some type of H series, maybe even H1, just super overstable. Same with Samuel right here. It looks like he's going a little bit wider, maybe a faster disc. Maybe they're just trying to cut into the gap as fast as possible.
And Samuel going a little tight as well, just like Oskari.
Yeah, and here is Samuel. You can see the rough on this course. Oh, that was actually a great run right there. You can see that it's hard to even see the player throw, let alone the player getting out of the rough to the basket. So Oh, man.
And Oskari also, if you didn't check out part 1, he hit some awesome putts also. So I was definitely expecting that one to stick.
Yeah, he has been draining some long putts. As Väinö's tapping in the birdie right there. Väinö had a little bit of a tough start to the round, but he's been picking it back up.
He's gotten sneaky hot. He is clawing his way back towards even. Given the start, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 2 birdies in the last 2 holes. Obviously, these are must-get shots as we're watching Mikael here. Hopefully just tap this one right in.
Oh, and he goes to the left side.
He just misses it to the left and just is just a little bit outside. That's not really the great side that you want to hit on, being right-handed putter. A little bit too high or a little bit to the left-hand side, you kind of get that counter spin that spins your disc outside of the basket. But just a little bit off, but we've seen Mikael hit a lot of longer putts as well. So
yeah, and it looks like this course has had enough of the easy holes. We're back to another tough par 4, 199 meters, 653 feet, tight wooded fairway. You see those stakes that usually marks out of bounds. Another tough hole for these players.
Yeah, 653 feet for a par 4. I think this is one of the shorter par 4s. The previous par 4s we've seen have been 750 or near 800 feet, which are, it's obviously 2 really long, accurate shots off the tee box. As we're watching, I think that was Väinö throw a huge Anheuser flex shot.
Yeah, and it looks like it just flexed on him a little early. And
we didn't get the out of bounds signal, so at least he might be able to save par from where he's at the very minimum.
And Oskari going a little inside there, and it kicks over to the left as well. And he gets the green flag. That is what you want to see.
Yeah, for those listening, we have not had the opportunity to play this amazing looking disc golf course, so we're in for the ride as you guys are, as we're finding out where the out of bounds are, finding out where the good shots are. As we watch Mikael I think that's actually what he was looking to do right there, is just to get that spot. Looks like he went with a putter, maybe slight overstable mid-range, little bit of a turn.
Tough kick for Samuel there.
This might be one of the tougher shots that we've seen, just tight gap-wise, and angle to the basket.
Yeah, it looks like it opens up a little bit after you get off the tee box, but it is a tough tee shot.
So camera guy does a great job there, kind of leading us to the basket. You can see over there to the right the white stakes. Those white stakes are all out of bounds. So we're watching Mikael here, keeping his disc nice and flat, but a massive skip.
Big flare, and it checks up
that
just
was
in time.
A huge skip on the wet grass. That's surprising.
Oskari also going with the sidearm play. A little bit risky given the out of bounds, but these guys really trusting their discs.
Yeah, that was a great shot right there. Obviously, he's got a longer look. Might be in Oskari's range, as we've seen him already drain a bunch of shots.
He is killing it from outside the circle so far.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Väinö's a little bit out of position here, trying to just get back to the fairway. Kind of same as Mikael. He's actually not too far away right there. As Samuel trying to toss a sidearm up to the basket.
Catches a tree, but he stays in bounds as well. That actually might have been a fortunate tree catch.
Yeah, and these guys all look like they have fairly routine up and downs to get to the basket. I think that the corner where those white trees are. Oh, man, what a run. I think that corner is out of bounds, so they're trying to keep it wide and away from that spot.
Nice little disc flip there from Mikael. He's just laying up. He's just giving himself the par, making sure that he doesn't see any more trouble.
Yeah, and here's Oskari. He seems to be 4 feet wider. He's making a run and drains it. This guy is on fire. He's just laughing it off like, what is going on right now?
Wow.
Off the tree branch.
Tree kick. Yeah. Beautiful putt. Oskari's just been on fire from deep. I mean, it's just unstoppable. He's got such a nice spin putt. Like I said, we saw some wind earlier, and those spin putts tend to just cut through that. It seems to have calmed down a little bit, even though it's still raining.
Yeah, it seems to be on and off rain. A little bit muddy out there. You know, they're still using the umbrellas, it seems. And we're headed on to hole number 13, 387-foot par 3, 118 meters. This is about as straight as it gets.
Tight fairway. Looks like the beginning of the rough is a little bit more forgiving there on the left side.
This is a very, I'm going to say it's not very forgiving, but it's a very rewarding shot to just pure this gap going dead straight.
Absolutely. Oskari going with the hyzer flip sidearm. Nice play there. He gets all the way down there, and it's in his range.
Yeah, we've seen him already can a couple of those. He's within 60. It seems like he's within 60 feet as we're watching Väinö. 387 feet, I imagine he's going with some type of fairway driver. It just seems to turn over a little bit too much, and as we mentioned earlier, the rough is rough. So that's going to be a tough one for Väinö to get up and down from.
Yeah, par is definitely best case scenario. What a shot from Mikael. That is just
cured. That is laced.
It's exactly how you want to play the hole. These tight wooded shots, whether you go sidearm like Oskari did or backhand like Mikael. Just want something that hyzer flips to straight and doesn't get a lot of movement from right to left or from left to right.
Yeah, Samuel that's not too bad of a kick. It just seems like he's a little bit in. He is first up to throw, but still, he's just right on the edge right there. It's not too bad getting up and down to the basket. I think that Samuel will be able to save that par.
Yeah, that was a really nice out from that rough. We'll see what Väinö's got. I'm not seeing the basket or the fairway here, so he kicked way in there. He's going hyzer around the outside and makes
almost
it
cans
work.
It.
Wow. Amazing.
And here's Oskari again, as we have seen many times. He's been about this distance. And he leaves it just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit outside, but you can't make them all. He has made several of them. He has almost made them all.
Almost made them all, for sure.
And Mikael pops that one in there.
Yeah, gives it the nod, and he ties it back up. These guys are just battling.
Here's Oskari for important par save.
Yeah, that was a big comebacker, and he hit it. That putt is deadly.
And Väinö to save par. Great putt.
Yeah, nice save there from Väinö. Like we said...
I'm wrong. It's Samuel, not Väinö. We were told before the round to pay attention to the hat and the 3 stripes. We have been fooled several times.
We have.
That's the Easter egg in the commentary. Is how many times do we call Väinö Samuel and Samuel Väinö?
Hopefully that was the only time.
I think they're wearing the same jacket and same pants. All right, hole number 14, par 4, 719 feet, 219 meters. This is another incredibly long, snaking, winding, can't think of another adjective for very long and crazy par 4 with a pond in front.
A pond. My goodness.
This is a tough hole. We're going to see some action on this, I can imagine. With being 719 feet, we're going to see these players, I imagine, go for a super long, slight hyzer flip. Seems to be a late turn, as we see Mikael throw that and hyzer. And he's getting the flex. Beautiful. That is a rip right there. That looks to be in great position as he's just a little bit off of the edge. Really not too far away from the fairway. I'm going to guess that is an ideal location.
It looked ideal for sure. This is just really cool to watch these guys play these styles of courses. You can tell this is finished disc golf because they just all look so comfortable.
Oskari with looked to be a great shot as it was slowly fading into the fairway towards the right, and then I'm going to say it takes a bad kick to the left. Yeah. I'm going to guess that's going to take him out of the angle.
And Väinö looks early here. And a good kick. Trick. Yeah, that second kick kept him towards the middle of the fairway. But, man, with that pond looming, it's going to be a tough second shot.
Yeah, it's not a bad kick for Väinö. Of course, he just wants that to get around the tree that he did initially hit. As we're watching Samuel, maybe fading out a little bit too early. Yeah, and I don't think that's going to keep it in the middle of the fairway.
Yep, and Väinö just going hyzer out of the rough.
That was Samuel.
I think that was Väinö.
I don't know. Was it Samuel? Oskari with a great out. That's a really nice forehand mid-range approach right there.
Yeah, really nice job from these guys just getting back to the middle of the fairway, laying up short of the pond to give themselves a run at par.
Even from there to get over the pond seems to be a low ceiling shot. We're going to watch Mikael. I wonder. Ooh.
Oh. And he's the
safe,
best
though.
drive of the group.
He is safe.
Just catches the ceiling. Yes, safe is good. Safe is important.
All right, Samuel or Väinö? You have to take a guess. It's Väinö.
Yeah, Väinö has the PD hat.
Not a bad shot, as at least he's safe, putting for par. As here's Samuel, going for a little bit of a wider gap. Oh, and he just hits.
It looks like he sat pin high.
Yeah, not too far. He can still save that par. Not a bad shot. Keeping away from the out of bounds.
So a tough little look from Oskari here. Just nice touch. Good skip. Nice execution there.
That's a good shot by Oskari. As we're going to watch Mikael throw a little bit of an awkward shot up there to the basket, just keeping it low, skipping it up, and that's a great shot as well. As the two players, Oskari and Mikael, looking at about the same putt to keep their 5 under rounds going. Great putt by Väinö right there. Crush it in from outside the circle to save par.
Beautifully done. His quest to get back to even is alive.
Hopefully his twin brother Samuel can do the same thing. Just a little bit short for Samuel. And Mikael pops that one in nice. Gets the par on what seems to be a very difficult hole number 14.
Yeah, and that would have been really frustrating having that good of a drive and taking a bogey. So good job keeping his focus and getting the par.
Same with Oskari right there. Those are really nice confidence-boosting putts.
Yeah, Samuel with the lone bogey. Just couldn't quite convert on the putt, but that'll be okay.
Yeah, this is the tough battle. We're watching Väinö come back from a tough front and sitting at +1, and then we got Oskari and Mikael 5 under. Samuel's still hanging in tough. He's the junior champ. As we're headed into hole number 15, 284 meters, 932 feet. This is the longest hole that we have seen them play so far. Being a par 5, this hole is massive.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that it's a par 5 for these guys. Just because we've seen so many long par 4s on this course so far. And this looks like another nice, beautiful hole with an awesome shot shape.
So we're watching Mikael throw in just a slight turn out of his hand. I think that's going to be the ideal landing location I don't think you can do too much better off the tee shot. I mean, you can obviously throw it further, but that's getting into a pretty high range.
Yeah, with a par 5, you have a great opportunity just to kind of work your way up the fairway. You have a little bit of breathing room to take the birdie.
As Oskari is just, I think he's a little bit off the fairway. That's going to be, he might have a reach out sidearm just to kind of get to the next landing zone on this par 5. As Väinö looks like he really crushed that one. Yeah, he does hit that tiny branch at the very end, though, which is unfortunate that he didn't get the full flight out of that.
Yeah, it looked like it was flexing back, and Samuel holding onto it a little long again. It's kind of been his issue for quite a little while now, and he's just going to have to pitch out.
Yeah, this is just a great example. I mean, this is par 5. You know, he's looking over 700 feet from the basket. There's no reason to go for any type of forehand roller or any type of crazy business out of those woods. That's a great standstill shot by Väinö right there. Just nice and smooth. Probably a slightly unstable disc.
And he put himself in a great position there. He'll still have a chance at birdie. He didn't have a run-up, but he showed off the power.
And Mikael, it looked like he actually hit a little bit of a branch. It seemed like going off of his second shot.
Yep, Samuel flips this one up to flatten its hyzering out back.
That's actually a great shot right there by Samuel.
Yeah, he'll be left with a sidearm or a turnover into the green. Oskari gets away with it. It looked like it was going to maybe catch that tree in the middle, but he gets around it. He's going to have a look at the basket as well.
Yeah, now all the players are kind of towards that, I'm going to call it the second landing zone to their approach to the basket. As you can see, that looks like a river or a pond, some type behind the basket. I'm not sure if it's 30 feet or 45 feet, but these guys look to be trying to just parking up this basket. That's a great shot right there by Oskari.
Oskari and Mikael just continuing to match each other shot for shot. It's really impressive to watch. Väinö going a little higher than the other two, looking to just to spike it in.
Almost makes it.
He trickles a little long, but luckily there's a ditch there to catch him so he doesn't go into that giant body of water.
Samuel just kind of hitting that tree right there. He has a little bit of a longer putt than what he wants. And he cans it. That's a great confidence boost right there with not a really great tee shot, making a putt outside the circle. You got a couple holes left in the round, and you can still kind of salvage a nice round as Väinö cans another nice putt right there. He's continuing. He's back to even par.
Yep,
it's an
really
impressive comeback.
Work. Yeah.
And Mikael continues to 6 under, and Oskari
just the match
as well is matching at 6 under.
Both of them with 3 birdies on this back 9. Väinö also with 3 birdies on this back 9. These guys are warmed up and they're in attack mode now.
As we're headed to hole number 16, 630 feet, 192 meters, very tight.
My goodness.
Off the tee right here, and then it looks like we're taking a dog leg. Hard right, slightly uphill, and then the basket also looks like it finishes on the right. So I'm going to imagine you're going to see players either throw some type of smooth forehand out of this gap just to try to get to the landing zone and then attack the basket. Being 630 feet, you need to get, I would imagine that you need to get 350 off the tee to be able to attack. And Mikael is really happy that he hit the gap right there.
He raises his arms in triumph. And I was wondering why he did it so early, but he knew. He knew it was getting out there.
I think before the disc was coming out of his hands, he's had his hand up.
Oh, and that is a tough shot from Oskari.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest. This has got to be the tightest hole that we have seen so far. Being 630-foot dog leg to where as soon as you get out of the gap.
Early. Catches a tree and kicks left.
And looks to be off in Never Never Land. I mean, that looks pretty tight around there. Ooh, and Samuel, I think that counts as getting out. I'm going to count that as getting out of the gap.
Yeah, he's He's
Can
not
almost
he's
reach
not in the
basket.
rough.
They have so many trees they need to tie them together on this hole to make sure they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, and Oskari might have needed a couple more to be tied in, as he didn't quite get out the first time. He does the second time, and he's just going to have to get up and down and hope for a bogey now.
Väinö looking to pull off some magic as he goes almost backwards, turned around Spike Anheuser? I'm not sure where that went. I don't think the cameraman knew.
Yeah, it's interesting to see these guys in the rough try and go big. Sometimes it's hard. I mean, you're having a good round in the case of Oskari, or you're trying to come back and have a good round in the case of Väinö. And you catch a bit of misfortune and you're trying to press, when really you just need to say, I'm doing well right now. Let me just pitch out, take my lumps. And
that's another great shot by Oskari, as he's going to be looking to be taking a bogey on this hole, as he got caught up early. Mikael can pick one up, though. As he just hits a little tiny branch on the way in. That's a tough putt to run at as well.
And it looks like the green is shaped like it has a drop-off. I'm not entirely sure, of course, but
we're about to find out. Probably not the best spot. Väinö's just looking for a par at this point. Samuel, I think, as well, is just looking to lay up. Not really an attackable basket, it seems like.
Yeah, Väinö just pitches up. It does
I think
look like
that's
it
one
rolls
shot
down.
we've seen a lot this round, is the jump putt layup.
Yeah.
The classic jump putt layup.
And this does look like it has a big drop off there off that hill.
And that's a great save from Väinö for bogey.
Yeah.
Because that is, once again, one of the tightest holes that we have seen, with a huge drop off too right behind the basket. It's a great putt there by Samuel.
Yeah, good job from these guys, just sticking it in there.
And Oskari had a
rare bogey from Oskari. But he's only ceding a stroke to Mikael, so he's
that's a great
limited
par.
the damage.
Great par by Samuel and Mikael.
Absolutely.
Headed into 2 holes left. It's going to be interesting to see how these finish. This looks to be maybe one of the signature holes. I'm going to say this looks very signature hole-esque, as it looks to be just sitting on top of that mound. Hole 17 is 351 feet, 107 meters. We're going to see some big putts on this green. Or a lot of putts, one or the other.
I'm going to need to get this landscaper to come check out my house and see what he's got, man. That mound, the 2 tiers.
Flip over. Nope. A little bit wide. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this basket, if you're not within 30 feet, you're laying it up.
Yeah, if you're not on the first tier of mound.
You want to get on that tier right almost there as it went down to the next one.
Yeah, and that's just going to be a tough decision to make.
Oskari is again going with the forehand flex. Seems to be like this is his go-to shot.
Oh, no.
Almost got up on that tier.
It just doesn't quite stick.
As we're watching Väinö, it looks to be like he's thrown that putter once again, but that's immediately low out of his hand. He knows he just needed to get that thing 10 feet higher and slide it up to the basket. Mikael wants to just sit right up there. That's a great shot.
Beautifully done.
And Samuel. Nope, Väinö.
He's running it, and he just a little bit low. He actually got quite a ways up there. I thought he was going to be much shorter than that.
He got a little lucky making the run for that, and then Heisering out, but still sticking on top. It's going to be interesting to see what Oskari does here. Ooh. Sit. Wow.
He runs it, and he should be confident with the putter, but maybe getting himself into a little bit of trouble here.
That's a tough one right there. And now you're looking at par.
Oh. Please sit. Please sit.
Oh.
Thank you. he'll be looking at bogey, but
Samuel with the step putt.
This guy's
uphill.
heating up with the putter himself here towards the end of the round.
Yeah, he's just got a couple holes left.
Smooth stepper there.
Boom.
Beautiful birdie.
Sitting in the chains.
Everyone else.
That's the way to do it right there. He took his rain jacket off. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's it. And now we know who he is. He's hitting putts.
Oskari popping in the bogey, and Väinö as well. These are not gimme putts right here. These are definitely confidence booster putts. You want to be able to pop those right in the center.
And Mikael with the perfect layup.
Easy par.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Gets another stroke on Oskari, who's taken back-to-back bogeys. Back-to-back bogeys.
Headed into hole number 18. Hole number 18 is 322 feet. As you can see, it's really tight. It's got the out of bounds creek right there. 98 meters, and it finishes over there to the right. I can imagine that we're going to see a decent amount of smooth hyzer flip forehands out of the gap, and then you want it to finish just with a skip over to the basket. It seems to be pretty tough to get over to the basket. It looks to be really far to the right.
Yeah, I want to beat that gap, and then there's another tree out there in the middle of the fairway waiting for you.
Yeah, and that was a great first shot right there by Samuel. He's looking to pick up one more birdie to finish the round.
Good skip there
huge
from Mikael.
skip. He's going to have somewhat a longer putt. Try to drain that on hole 18 as we're watching Väinö right here. Going with a backhand. The first backhand of the group.
It catches some limbs, but it's still got a good line on it.
He's got a longer putt. Not bad. Longer putt. Hopefully Väinö can make that to finish par.
Oskari gets out of the gap, beats the tree.
Oh,
there's another one.
We didn't even see that.
Couldn't even see the ghost tree. He just lays it up. He'll finish his round.
Still
with
a great round by Oskari. And Mikael just barely misses on the outside.
He also had
Samuel, can he go 3 for 3 here?
Come on.
Yeah! That's a great putt. Last 3 holes, making 3 really good putts right there. That's a really good way to finish the first round of a big tournament.
And this is for Väinö to get back to even on the round as a whole. And he
Boom!
Nails it.
What a comeback by Väinö.
Great finish from those two guys, finding their stroke with the putter, battling back after some tough breaks.
And Mikael just popping it in there. Great round by him with the 6 under. The hot round on the card. Oskari, 4 under.
Yeah, just 2 strokes
It's not
back.
bad. There's nothing to hang his head at all. I'm sure he would like to have maybe look back at hole number 17 and just toss it up under the basket, but you know, you got to run out of them to make them. You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
I mean, he putted great. So
he made some great putts. It was great to watch. Once again, this is the feature card round 1, part 2, back 9 at the frisbeegolfkeskus in Tampere, Finland. Väinö Mäkelä, Oskari Vikström, Samuel Stenman, and Mikael Häme. I'm Will Schusterick with Idris Garcia. Thanks for watching the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour 2019. See you on the next round.